Animals follow their own rules and could care less about what we think is socially acceptable. We all have our own expectations of how different animals behave in the wild, but not everything is set in stone when it comes to their behaviour. There are animals that coexist together in a symbiotic relationship benefiting both, or ones which adapt their eating habits based on what's available. Curious to know more of such facts? Well, settle in and enjoy these strange animal behaviours caught on camera. Here we go. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe and click the notification bell for more amazing content. Let's begin. Lizard Express. Birds of prey are incredible creatures possessing great strength and finesse. For such an animal, finding a meal is not a big deal thanks to their superior vision. What's on the menu this time? Why, it's the monitor lizard. They are massive and they don't look small enough to be preyed upon by birds, right? That's where you're wrong. Eagles don't pass up on a good catch just because the meal is a bit heavy. In this rare yet strange footage, the eagle swoops in on the lizard and unexpectedly sits on it. The lizard hasn't given up yet and tries to cross the street with the eagle clawing into its skin. It looks a little funny for someone who might have just walked into this scene. An eagle hitching a ride on the top of a lizard? You don't see that every day. Sadly, the lizard's fate was sealed, and after crossing the street, the eagle got what it wanted. A nice meal. Skunk Handstand. Skunks don't need no introducing. They're notorious for their unique defense mechanism and also known to be carriers of the rabies virus. When threatened, skunks can draw up their secret weapon, squirt out a stream of foul-smelling liquid from, well, their anus. This secretion is so pungent that it'll stick around for a good number of days. If you get sprayed by one, you're better off cancelling all social plans and just staying home like it's the end of the world. But today we're talking about a different kind of skunk, one which takes its defences to an even higher level. The spotted skunk is an unusual breed which not only has the capability to spray a potent stink stream like all the other skunks, but it's also able to threaten potential threats. It does this by literally pulling a handstand and walking on its front paws while near the perceived threat. It then arches its back and turns it towards the enemy and zones in on it. If the warning is not heeded, then the skunk will have to do what it has to do. So if you see a spotted skunk walking this way, you've been warned. Give it space and back off, and you should be fine. Monkey Cannibalism. Everyone knows that having a monkey for a pet is never a good idea. They're incredibly volatile and mischievous and can get very aggressive. It seems this aggression is a common trait amongst most primates. Chimpanzees generally enjoy munching on fruits, but they can switch things up and consume meat as well. They're about 93.6% similar to our genomes, but the 6.4% is what makes them immensely different from us. Chimpanzees regularly eat meat and they satiate this craving by preying on other members within the primate family. Red colobuses are popular on their menu, and chimpanzees are vicious when they need to hunt them down. They strategize and hunt in groups and coordinate with each other to flank and ambush their prey. The colobuses have no chance against the chimpanzee's might and end up getting devoured alive. What makes chimpanzees even more formidable is that they are known to cannibalize their own kind when food options are scarce. They even attack and eat individuals within their own social circles, making this whole affair even more disturbing. Turkey circle. Not all animal behavior can be explained with science. Some still keep behavioral scientists scratching their heads. Check this one out, for example. A group of turkeys following each other around in a circle around a tree. Now, someone who happens to walk into this strange ritualistic dance might assume the worst. Maybe a dance to summon the demon gods to lay waste to their enemies, or maybe it's a rain dance. But these are all just humorous guesses. Scientists still can't figure it out, especially since turkeys are generally not known to be intelligent creatures, and their behaviors are driven by instinct more than logic and reasoning. So seeing them do something this coordinated is surprising. The turkeys seem to follow one another, and for what purpose? No one knows. Goats on a tree. You thought turkeys running in a circle was strange, then this one will probably make you question reality altogether. Goats generally prefer to graze on land, and some even venture up treacherous mountain faces to nibble on their favourite plant. But there aren't many who would do this. This isn't a fake image, it's the real thing. The goats have found their way up this argania tree in Morocco. What on earth are they doing up there? Before you imagine up answers in your head, let me put your mind at ease. These are just your standard goats who've been pushed to this extreme behaviour. Morocco isn't exactly known for their pastures, and there aren't many here, so goats had to make do with what they got and improvise. The only place they have to grab some grub is up on top of these trees. They generally eat the leaves and the fruit and spit out the seeds, which is great because the seeds from this tree are used to make argan oil, which contributes to a significant percentage of Moroccan exports. So while the goats fend for themselves atop these trees and keep themselves fed, they also contribute to the country's economy by making argan seeds easily available for harvesters. Sounds like a great deal if you ask me. Meat-eating parrots. Parrots are cute and sociable pets. Who wouldn't want them? They can be a source of entertainment and companionship for most families, but probably not this kind. The Kia parrot is unlike any other parrot that you've seen before. You see, they're quite vicious. The tree goats in Morocco are better off there than facing this reality in New Zealand. In case you haven't guessed, they prey on goats and sheep. They generally just hop on the back of these animals and start pecking away at their skin until they hit the subcutaneous fat, which they love. They essentially eat these goats alive. Even with all the might of the goat to buck these birds off, they're very persistent and clingy. Though Kia don't kill the goats directly, the injuries sustained from the bites eventually kill the herd off, which ends up feeding the rest of the parrot flock. It's hard to imagine a parrot being such a vicious creature, right? Well, it wasn't always the case. New Zealand used to have almost no mammals. They had one species of rat and one species of bat. But due to environmental changes and human influence, the Kia's primary diet of worms and insects diminished. With a lack of these options, these parrots had to turn to other alternatives. Sheep and goats were introduced in New Zealand back in 1773, and Kia finally got a taste for them, and that stuck. The Kias you see now are the descendants of the first parrots who tasted goats, and now they ravage the country. They are so troublesome that they even cause damage to human properties like cars. What a troublesome bird. Dolphin games. Dolphins, our friends from the sea. They're some of the smartest and most social animals on the planet, apart from us. They seem to have a clear social group and a unique language with which they communicate with one another. The fact that they have a language means that they have a clear understanding of their environment and their own existence. With this level of intelligence, it's not surprising that they exhibit almost human-like behaviors like playing games. They've been seen tossing pufferfish between each other like a game of throw the ball. Since they don't have access to a real ball, they need to improvise, and the pufferfish seems to be a great alternative. It's also known that dolphins actually get a little high from holding this fish in their mouth due to the toxins it contains. So playing games and also getting high sounds like two birds with one stone kind of deal. Flying snakes. Snakes summon up feelings of nightmares and pure fear in most of us, and that's probably the right reaction to have. They're generally fast and venomous. But what if we add another level of dimensionality to their character? What if they can fly? This is not a what-if question just for the fun, but actually a real occurrence in nature. There is a genus of snake which is capable of gliding through the air and can cover distances of up to 10 meters. Bet that gave you goosebumps. It's true, the flying snakes are one of a kind. Luckily, they're mostly found in South and Southeast Asia, and only snakes of one particular genus can pull this off. They're moderately venomous, so they're not to be messed with. The snake takes to the air by climbing up a tree and hanging low from one of its branches. Next, it decides on the direction it wants to go and also monitors the wind conditions. The snake then launches itself from the branch using its tail and glides through the air. While mid-air, it has the unique ability of flattening its body into a concave surface to make it more aerodynamic. If you see a snake flying your way, you know it's time to make yourself scarce. Capelin spawning. The natural world is often bizarre, but things that seem strange on the surface are generally part of some kind of design. This incredible sight was captured in Canada, and it's not an unfortunate incident brought on by human greed, but one that's completely natural. Every year during midsummer, thousands of capelins wash themselves ashore for one purpose: to mate. Once the mating is complete, the males remain on the spawning grounds and eventually die off. Only the females make it out alive and breed. And for the rest of us visiting the beach, it's an amazing display of what nature is capable of doing. Meerkats. Meerkats are a curious-looking bunch, but don't let their shy exterior fool you. They're quite agile and know how to hunt efficiently. Their favourite food on the menu? The scorpion. While most of us would shriek in fear and run away from one, meerkats would be delighted to see a scorpion cross their path. They're naturally immune to the scorpion's venom, which makes them a formidable enemy to these stinging creatures. Meerkats first disable the scorpion's primary weapon, its sting, by biting it off, and then go in for the kill and devour the whole thing. It's also interesting to see how they train their cubs. At first, the parents kill the prey while the kids watch and then let them eat the catch once it's killed. The next step would be for the parents to immobilize the prey first and then let their cubs catch the animal for themselves and get a taste of how to hunt. Meerkats are fascinating, don't you think? Crabs. Look at this glammed-up crab. It sure knows how to be in style. But don't let the colourful accessory fool you. That's a sea urchin, and it's there for a reason. The Homelidae family of crabs, or the carrier crabs, often allow sea urchins, sponges, or corals to piggyback on them. You see, these crabs are not so great at defending themselves, so they rely on these passengers to help protect them. The sea urchin will help deter potential predators, and the crabs will return the favour by providing food and free transportation. Sounds like a deal you can't refuse. Before we delve into number 1 on this list, let's take a moment to explore a peculiar animal behaviour that often induces awkwardness. Few things are as cringeworthy as introducing your dog to a new group of people, only to witness them diligently sniffing between every guest's legs. While it's not uncommon for dogs to engage in sniffing, it undeniably creates an uncomfortable atmosphere, leaving you pondering the age-old question, why do dogs feel the need to smell your crotch? The answer, surprisingly, is rather straightforward. The act of your dog sniffing your crotch is linked to your sweat glands, specifically the apocrine glands. These glands emit pheromones that your dog detects, serving as a means for them to gather information about another mammal. Snake that gives everything for eggs. We're back on snakes again. Yes, these slithering reptiles have another trick up their sleeve, or scales. Dasypeltis is a genus of colubrid snakes which survive exclusively on eggs. Yep, just plain old eggs. Not Eggs Benedict or Sunny Side Up, just your regular hard-shelled eggs will do it. Now, you might be wondering, how does a snake swallow an egg whole in the first place? Like this. They love eggs so much that they can physically make the whole process easier. They have almost no teeth in their mouth and they can extend their jaws really wide, and the bones inside their skull are flexible enough to smoothly pass the egg. Once inside, bony protrusions on the inner wall of the snake crack up the egg, which is then consumed completely. After all the good stuff is extracted just as easily as it went inside, the egg comes out pretty easily as well. The snake is then good to go for another round. Pretty amazing, right? So there you have it. Strange animal behaviours caught on camera. Let us know in the comments about your favourite one and why. And while you're at it, be sure to hit the like button, share and subscribe. See you next time.